Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is February 7th. It's been a frustrating one, let's just put it this way. I've been trying for an hour to get a single victory with a priest, or play 10 secrets, or get the tavern brawl. Haven't got any of it done. I just am going to go ahead and do a dungeon run. Let's do a dungeon run. Since I need to defeat 5 bosses, this will be nice and easy. So, play as a priest. That should work. And maybe these priest victories will count towards daily quests. I don't believe they will. So, I'm reading here, what is this game called even? I don't even remember the name of the game. I played this game. Kerbal Space Program has updates coming out. I don't trust them. They're coming out March 13th. One of them is supposed to be a mission builder enabling players to create, edit, and share custom scenarios. The missions, last time I saw them in Kerbal Space Program, were not much of anything. And the other is you can make their own missions that include launches, landings, rescues, malfunctions, and explosions, repairs, and much more. The expansion's other major feature is where history comes into the history pack, containing pre-made missions based off mankind's actual extraterrestrial excursions, which that doesn't particularly work too well since none of the physics in Kerbal's universe are the same. So Earth is not the planet you're on, the gravity is not the same. So unless they've recreated all of the solar system so that works where it didn't work before, like, that's gonna be odd. It's worth pointing out that the people that were making Kerbal Space Program pretty much all got fired after they released the 1.0 version, and the people left are, for the most part, just trying to milk people for all the money they can get. And I have had it with Kerbal Space Program. I don't think I'd ever go back and play it. I might play a game similar to it, but I don't think I'm going back to that one. Let's see. In what can only be described as YouTube being YouTube, apparently Jim Sterling has been temporarily locked out of his own channel, so he can't even reply to his own things. He's complaining that YouTube is taking his footage and adding blur and making it look bad. I'm pretty sure he could get around that if he knew what he was doing with the video quality, because certainly I've worked with that and had to get around that. Start with the game. Draw 2 cards. Your battle cries trigger twice. Wait, did any of these have battle cries in the first place? Spell damage +1. We'll take that one. And we'll just keep playing spells if we can. Lifesteal. We'll take this. I only need 4 more bosses to win, so I can go up the ladder through this dungeon run. If I die, I'll start with the low level bosses again and get the remaining 5. Notice that Hearthstone Deck Tracker just reset the stats So this is a 0/0 for this deck because I got new cards. That doesn't particularly work, but whatever. Apparently Final Fantasy VII's remake of Cloud's characters has some design changes. 4 new screenshots have been debuted. I'm looking at this one screenshot, and it doesn't seem like it's anything super significant. It's worth pointing out though that Final Fantasy VII is still, the remake of Final Fantasy VII is still in the works, so anything and everything could change. The game Slice, Dice, and Rice for PS4 launches February 14th in the West. I wasn't certain this game was going to come to the West, actually. But I was looking for. And it launched on PC in April 2017, so it's already in the West. But it's mixed rating. That kind of sucks. I wanted this one to be one to play. Let's look at the negative reviews and see if I can find some reason to play this. It's 66%, which is a pretty low rating for a video game. Let's see. I love this game's combat and mechanics, but I can't recommend it for the simple fact that it feels unfinished. The game often crashes and sometimes doesn't work at all together. I've heard there are ways to fix these issues, but in my opinion, any game that needs to go out of the way to make it more playable isn't worth my time. This is January 1st. The game is a gym in the way it's designed. Major buzzkill for the game is there isn't any online multiplayer. Another kill for it is the control mapping. Game description emphasizes one-hit kills. There we go, it just won. But the way its increased difficulty is making the CPU opponent take multiple hits before dying. I feel like I'm just playing against a cheating opponent. No online multiplayer, okay fighting mechanics, and a story mode that copies the worst fighting games trope. The game has issues, and loads of them. Crossovers seem glitchy, input lag comes and goes, the music can't glitch every now and then. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one and keep on playing. Yeah, I've seen enough of the same problems. So close so far. That's one of the negative reviews, and that sucks. I wanted that one. So now I'm gonna have to go back and see if this is in my wish list and take it out. Let's see. In a weird way, like, I don't fully understand why you would want to play Layers of Fear on the Switch, or Layers of Fear Legacy on the Switch that launches February 21. I don't know why you'd want to play that horror game on the Switch, and I don't know why you'd want to play that horror game right now on February 21st. Like, this is not the time for a horror game. It's not much of a horror game anyways. Let's see. Layers of Fear Legacy is based off the 2016 Layers of Fear game, but it's been remastered and redesigned to be a unique offering to the Nintendo Switch, which probably just means you're going to have to do some kind of Switch Joy-Con waggle mechanics in it. Here's the trailers. Watch this trailer. Rated Peggy 16. I guess, unlike the previous versions of Nintendo consoles, though, this doesn't look horrible. The NVIDIA GPU in Layers of Fear does seem like it has the ability to do 720p alright. Honestly, though, I kind of feel like Layers of Fear is just an overblown game. Let's move on. Keep on closing these things. Focus Home Interactive and former Stalker developers announced a first-person shooter battle royale game called Fear the Wolves for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Like, you are way too late to the game to be introducing something like that. Like, way too late to the game. It's a post-apocalyptic first-person shooter. It'll begin in 2018. Early access will begin in 2018. Do they really think they can do it better than Fortnite? Do they really think they can do it better than... let's just do this. What did I... How did that... Restore 4 health to all minions, and instead it did more than 4 because of my spell damage. Yeah, I look forward to seeing Fear the Wolves not succeed. I mean, what else can you say? Oh man, I should have played this first, and then I could have done 5 damage right then. Owlboy for the PS4 and Switch launches May 29th. I didn't like Owlboy too much, but it wasn't so objectionable that I would tell other people not to play it if it looked interesting to them. Deal 5 damage. Let's see if this works. Let's see. The Idolmaster Shiny Colors has been announced for a PC browser utilizing HTML5 technology. That's a little weird. Like, are we gonna start seeing more Japanese games come on browser things? This might work actually, because then no longer are you dealing with reverse importation. No longer are you really announcing or releasing a game to any other country. You don't have to go through any certification. You don't have to go through any rating system. I assume this is free though, because I think most people would be very hard pressed to put in a credit card to play a web game. Now, Idolmaster games are music games / visual novels. There's random mage spells. The friendly minion. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take these guys too. The other thing about it being an HTML5 thing is that eventually it would work on a tablet or a cell phone too, or it should. I'm not sure if there's ever really going to be an Idolmaster game though that's really worth playing on Steam, or and if it's an HTML5 thing, inherently that's another instance of me not really wanting to own something or try and install something that's not in my Steam library, because I just got to keep these games in some kind of collection. Speaking of collection, I cheaply was able to collect all of the Leisure Suit Larry games from Indie Gala. However, I almost certainly will not be covering them just because of YouTube's rules, and frankly it's not going to be that interesting to cover most of those games anyways. Pokemon Go rips up its Mewtwo raid rulebook. Last night Pokemon Go seemingly ripped up the rulebook on how the game invited people to the ultra exclusive EX raids and confused the game's global community in the process. And the EX raid invitation gives players a chance to battle and capture the legendary creature Mewtwo, and is the most sought after activity for hardcore Pokemon Go players. Alright. And let's see. Getting a pass, however, is something of a lottery. In the rules laid down by the developer, you have a chance of getting a Mewtwo raid invite if you've recently completed a raid at a nearby gym in a public park. That's roughly the rules anyways, but in short, the chances of you getting an invite is still low and entirely at the whims of Niantic's shadowy algorithm. Okay. Last night, those rules were not followed. Instead, the passes were up for locations people have visited regularly or recently. People were surprised to find invitations to attend at places they could not have visited. They had not visited in 6 months, a year, and had only driven past once a time while on holiday. The first round of invites are EX raids taking place over the weekend, a much shorter window of warning than usual. The requirements have previously rated in a particular... Yeah, right. Well, clearly there was a glitch here. This morning, players are still trying to work out how and why the shake-up occurred. Is this permanent move or one-off? Seems like a glitch to me, at least. Alright, well, let's play this. And in the turn. So, a bunch of Pokemon Go people got lucky. In my continuing coverage, I don't want to make this a rant, but it's worth pointing out that Abby Hepburn, one of the newest employees, or Abby Russell, man, I thought her name was Abby Hepburn. Okay, Abby Russell, one of the newest hires of Giant Bomb, heavily pushed for Dream Daddy in the end of year argument, where Giant Bomb had never really done any kind of visual novel dating games before, and she got it somewhere around 5th place for Game of the Year of 2017, which is really, really high considering other things. And then she started doing a series called The Dating Games. She's on to episode 4. She's covering Dream Daddy. Now, my problem has always been with this, and I think it's a valid criticism. Giant Bomb has never cared about any dating games or visual novels in their long number of years. They've just never covered any of them, never cared about it. As a side note, they've also never really cared about about Dragon Ball Z, and now they're making a series specifically around watching Dragon Ball Z and playing Dragon Ball Fighters Z. So this should only do 4 damage, but instead it does 7 and kills everybody. Whatever. The spell damage is applied, it's just not labeled. So yeah, nobody has ever cared about visual novels or dating games. The master of making visual novels and dating games are unquestionably Japanese makers. That is their thing. That is inherently a Japanese video game cultural identity thing that they have been doing for decades, and everybody knows it. So it's a little offensive to bring in a game that's not a Japanese game and not consider any Japanese games and then say Dream Daddy should be in the top 10 just because it agrees with your politics. And really that's what this is Abby Russell agrees with the politics in Dream Daddy, and wants to just virtue signal. And so she started a new thing, and I thought, okay, well, she's gonna start this series and go through dating games, so that's potentially the right thing. She'll play some Japanese games. She'll play some of the very small number of non-Japanese dating games out there, and she'll compare and contrast, and she'll learn about the genre, and she'll introduce everybody into that, and that can be done correctly, in my opinion, certainly, and that could work. However, she is now on episode 4, and she is still yet to play a single Japanese game, and so now she's just willingly ignoring it. Like, I'll continue watching her, but watching what game she covers, but she's covering in episode 4 Dream Daddy, the one she wanted to cover in the first place, and I wouldn't be super surprised if she doesn't make any more, or if she makes 2 or 3 more, and none of those are Japanese either. It's a cultural appropriation in the world of video games, really. Like, you gotta get something in there. Get Clannad, get something. The Steam is flooded with visual novels that are around dating. Right now, tons of people are doing Doki Doki Literature Club, another non-Japanese games, but at the very least, that's something closer to a Japanese game. But all the ones she's covered have been so far from the anime aesthetic, so far away from what is the average. Let's see, destroy all minions, remove the top count for each minion destroyed. Let's see. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. So yeah, I didn't want to get into a rant on it, but it's not right. But it's just not the right way to do that. Either you admit your bias and you say that your site and the people in your site have no interest in visual novels, which is fine. Plenty of people don't. Or you actually open yourself up to being willingness to learn. So I need a couple more victories, but I'll get it pretty easily. You may notice, actually I shouldn't have chosen the priest, that the victories I've been getting in this boss mode have not been counting. But I guess that doesn't matter. I can cheat victories on with my secondary account. I just can't cheat Tavern Brawl victories. Though E3 is open to the public, they still have dedicated industrial hours. So, let's see. How does this break down for anybody who wanted to go to E3, which I imagine? Those attending on a Gamer Pass will then be able to enter 3 hours later at 2 p.m. and 12 p.m. respectively. So, for it is June 12th through the 14th, and industry people will be available to go in at 11 a.m. on June 12th, 9 a.m. on June 13th, and with the hall closing at 7 p.m. at both days. So apparently the 14th is open to everybody. I guess that would be what to take from that. On the 14th, the show will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for all attendees. Yes. So there's 3 hours of room every day just for industry people. I don't know why you want to go to E3 either. I suppose we'll stream E3 again, though. That's information I would like to get, so so if I'm awake is really what it's going to come down to, is when those live streams for the E3 opening videos, I'll live stream them and see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to even do the Hearthstone thing. I probably won't. That was more distraction than it was worth. For the first time, Evo won't have a Marvel game, so that's the end of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as far as Evo is concerned. Nobody was happy with that game, and the 8 games that are going to be at Evo will be Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Smash Bros. Wii U. Apparently, the creator of Super Smash Bros. is exhausted in creating Super Smash Bros. Games. Sounds like he needs more support. Injustice 2, Dragon Ball Fighters. So Dragon Ball Fighters took the Marvel spot. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Guilty Gear XRD Rev 2, and Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Interesting. Marvel's absence isn't the only talking point. Some are questioning the inclusion of 2 Smash Bros. Games, as well as the inclusion of 3 Arc System Works games, one of which, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, isn't out until May. Alright, fair enough. Let's start with next one. Your hero power is upgraded and costs 1. Your spells cost 1 less. We'll take spells again. And give me some spells. Or Cthulhu. We'll take that. Moving on. This is a different boss. I don't think I've fought this boss before. What's this one's ability? So I'm reading articles here trying to see if there's anything. Let's see. Hero power, freeze a minion. Okay. Fail Better, the creators of Sunless Sea, apparently also had a indie developers funding for their small narrative-focused game projects. Uh, for a chunk of the revenue of the game's release. So instead of finishing their game Sunless Sea, they were trying to spend money that they got from Kickstarter basically to fund other people in kind of a seems fraudulent almost manipulation. Let's see, which card was not in the deck originally? I'm gonna go with this one. It was that one. The first year of their initiative saw 5 games with a budget between £2,000 and £20,000, or $2,000 to $2,800 to $28,000 approximately, supported. So not only did they waste their money funding other games while not finishing their own game, which is crazy, they failed to finish their game to the level that they had to lay people off. Fail Better is staying true to their name. They are failing a lot better than other people in the industry. 2 damage. Let's go ahead. PC Gamer has a list of monster truck games. They're looking for good monster truck games. And apparently they were looking for good monster truck games, and they found a bunch of terrible monster truck games, which is kind of weird that you wouldn't be able to find something good. But I guess the monster trucks in general are going to be appealing to a very young age group, and there's room for, what would be the right phrase, a lack of care. Apparently these are selling out quickly. Thinking has Super Mario Baddies plushies that I was looking at because they look cute, but they're running out of them. I could have won right there. I should have just healed. As I'm pulling down the box to see which ones are available, only Bullet Bill and Boo are left. Yeah, they're $10 too, and they're probably not worth that much. That has very little to do with video games, though. That's just me shopping. This and this and this and that. There we go. The latest Steam Audio beta taps AMD GPUs for spatial audio in games and VR. Steam Audio, I'm glad they're still working on it, but I'm not sure if it's ever going to be an adapted standard. There we go. So we don't need to pick any more cards for that. Let's just open our card backs and break out some cards. No legendaries. Nothing really. All 5 of these will be turned into dust. We're working our way towards the 5,000 dust we'd like to make. So yeah, all 5 of those get turned into 40 dust. And I wanted to see if there was anything extra in my main account. If I look at all the cards, yeah, that didn't seem like that was going to be the case. Yeah, I seriously doubted I had any extra cards. But we do have some new cards that probably are glitched. I don't think I can justify fully buying like all classic cards in the next expansion. I think next expansion we've got to I think we've got to buy the new one because I'm only missing epics and legendaries. If I buy 50 packs of classic, I'll get 1 legendary and just a ton of dust. Let's see, like 2 epics here, 2 epics here, 1 legendary here, an epic here, a legendary there. And frankly, I might have enough dust by the next expansion, and then 4 of these legendaries. And see, these legendaries aren't even particularly the ones that I need, except for maybe this pirate one would help unlock something. Yep. Next expansion, I think we start doing things. And when we start getting dust, I may just want to go through all the standard cards and find any blue and create it with 100 dust to try and have a full finished collection. Alright, so I need 3 victories with priest and secrets. I only need to get 1 of these done, so let's do secrets. And I suppose there's really no reason not to continue playing Wild. Let's see. Take-Two swings to profit, has high hopes for Red Dead Redemption 2. There's rumors that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to have a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds style game. Let's get rid of this one and this one. If that's true, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. Take-Two says its main focus is expanding digital sales, stating the recurrent customer spending for purchases of DLC, in-game currency, and microtransactions grew 64%. So they're almost directly telling you to expect microtransactions of some sort in the next game. Take-Two had the generally accepted accounting procedure net revenue of $480.8 million, up $476 million for the same quarter a year ago. What? So that means last year they barely made 5 million, and this year they've made a ton more. That does not seem right. No, oh, it says up from that much, so really it's only $4 more million. That makes a lot more sense. They said we continue to expect to deliver both record net bookings and record net cash provided by operating activities in fiscal 29 in excess of 2.5 billion and 700 million, respectively. The company raised its net revenue guidance for the year ending March 31st for the fiscal year to range between 1.8 and 1.85 billion, with profits exceeding 170 million to 181 million. Oh man. I'll take the victory, but I'm not super happy about that. So, high hopes for Red Dead Redemption 2. I think maybe some microtransactions in there too. Let's see, is this a This article really doesn't have anything to do with video games, so we'll skip that. A company called Tamatum, T-A-M-A-T-M, has netted $2.5 million to localize mobile games for Arabic-speaking markets. Jordanian publisher Tatum has raised that money in a series of funding to localize more games for the Middle East and North Africa, also known as MENA, apparently, M-E-N-A, mobile market. It was founded in 2013. They've already published 40 games in that region, but it wants to boost those numbers. Yeah, you know, you get some of those Middle Eastern princes to play your mobile game. They could be putting a lot of money into microtransactions. See, no list here really of what games they've translated though. Personally, I think there's a lot of countries in the Middle East that are going to have a hard time coming to terms with the video game industry as it is. Well, I don't even have to speculate there. We know that that's the case. We've seen games banned. We've seen things censored. It's just like very different cultures. The general West compared to the Middle East, or the general East compared to the Middle East. Let's see, I've got a lot of jobs here that I need to go through, I think, before we wrap this up. See, I'm on the Humble Bundle, but I've skipped all the job listings. Trying to see if there's this Rockstar Bundle. I know that much. And you know, for February, too many things are on sale still. Like, I was hoping for more time before anything important happened as far as sales. Mostly they've just got a bunch of comic book sales, and I assume when you're getting these, you're getting them in digital format. uh, you're not getting shipped the actual product in any print format, which is kind of more what I would want. Oh, there's a best of 2017 bundle. Finally found it. So what's in this bundle? Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, Goat Simulator, Hacknet. That's for pay what you want. You'd need $1 at least to get the Steam keys. Then Verdun, Sins of a Solar Empire, Death Road Canada, and Turmoil for the average of $5.49. And then Dead by Daylight for $10 or more. That again doesn't look like a deal that I'm very interested in, frankly. I think I might have most of those games or not care about them. Let's see. Let's go back to my Twitter list. I'm trying to avoid all these job listings. And I think I may end up just closing all the job listings. Have I played enough secrets now? I'm back on my Twitter account trying to see. Yeah, this should do enough to not only let me win, yeah, it's gonna be a struggle in the post show. We haven't even gotten to the European account at all, and I know we had some awkward breaks in which we got some stuff done on one account and some stuff not done on other accounts. But just getting a Tavern Brawl victory is gonna be a nightmare. More details have been revealed about Metro Exodus. I don't know if we really need to talk about that. I'll leave that for Friday. And see, I said this stream might start late, and I'm glad it didn't. Because if it had, then this is already probably going to go to 10 in the evening. Keep on scrolling down. One more secret. Ridiculous. Alright, so I need to play one more secret minimum, and probably it would be helpful to get 3 victories too. I need to do the Tavern Brawl, and then let's switch over to the European account for a moment and see what new level of misery that is going to be. Hearthstone does this. Like, too much. And any articles I see on Twitter right now, I'm just gonna so 100 victory here. Let's trade this one out. So I need to get 7 victories on this one too. So I'm quickly just scrolling down my Twitter just to make sure there's no big announcement. Oh yeah, I guess I also was going to talk about this one thing, and I guess I painted myself into a corner, so this is good. NeoGaf, a video game chat board, had some drama in which there was an accusation against the guy who runs NeoGaf. He said he wasn't having any of it, and several moderators on there were mad at him, left, and started their own website that's approved by approval only, and much more of a censored website, I would argue. That website is called Resteria, Resetera, Resetera, and they targeted a a person who was the sound developer of Subnautica, which Subnautica has been partially successful because of its sound design. They targeted him because he did not hold far left enough opinions, or he held right opinions in the United States, at least. I wouldn't say extremely far right opinions. Some of his responses that I see as tweets are clearly jokes and trolls. They targeted him, they harassed him, they pressured the company that makes Subnautica to fire him, and they got him fired. Again, so I mean, like, at the end of the day, the entire video game industry cannot stand even a single person that doesn't agree with them. And this is not going to lead to better video games when everybody has the same opinions, out of fear of being branded a witch, effectively. I mean, this is literally they are having their own personal witch hunts. Now, on the NeoGaf thing, I never heard any reports of anything coming out of that, so I imagine it was probably much a non-story. Apparently, according to Game of Sutra, Google is considering a subscription-based streaming service for games. That's interesting. Rise of the Tomb Raider aired 3 hours ago. I think that's probably the marker that I've seen all the other things. Yeah, I'm gonna say I've seen all the news. So maybe you don't want to maybe you don't want to buy Subnautica now, for cowing down and firing their sound producer for having his own personal opinions. A lot of these companies, if they're going to act this way, need to also hand the press release. Here is our code of conduct that he signed when he was hired. I think that would make stories like this go down a lot better, and not feel like bitter just censorship and politics. Like, if it clearly said you can't say anything political ever when you start a job, even on your personal Twitter, or if it said even better, and maybe if I was hiring people, that's what I'd say, is that you have to either have me approve all your tweets or shut down your Twitter, anything, even Facebook, even things that are semi-private or you would consider semi-private. If that's the code of conduct that they put out there, and he violated that, and he knew he was violating that, that's one thing. If it's just because they don't like him, that's crazy. And frankly, it sounds like in his role as a sound developer, he was doing a good job. And Subnautica looks like it's a better game because of it. And nobody is going to be safe in the long run if this is continued to allow something. In fact, if I was an employer, I might start just saying, like, no, I'm not firing anybody for any witch hunts whatsoever unless they commit a felony crime and are going to be incarcerated for a considerable amount of time where they can't actually work. I'm going to keep them employed. Like, maybe that's the only way that we're going to have this fixed, is to stop having companies kowtow to what is really insignificantly small numbers of people. We've already seen it hurt the video game industry because of Japanese companies just being afraid of backlash. Also, Square Enix profits are up by 50%. Casuals are the gamers now. I think we already saw an article talking about that, but that's an article I just saw that was phrasing it slightly differently. Well, it's time now to move on to the post show. There's going to be a lot of work. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.